Now we take a short drive into our neighboring town of Sparta, Tennessee to visit a man who has always had a fascination with the history of bladesmithing. He has taken that fascination and turned it into an incredible art. Replogle has gained international attention as an elite bladesmith that has chosen to stay with the ancient techniques that have brought bladesmithing to where it is today.
A bladesmith is someone who specifically makes knives through the forging process. I take steel, heat it up in the fire, and forge blades. I got into bladesmithing from when I was a kid. You know, going hunting with my dad, you know, we always used knives, and you know, me and my brother, we loved Lord of the Rings, we loved fantasy kind of things, and so swords and knives have always been an interest of mine. And also, my aunt and uncle used to take me on a vacation to a historical place every year. And so I had this real love for history and the Civil War and things of that nature. So when you get history and knives and you put it together, you get a bladesmith. So that's where I am. One of the things that interests me the most about bladesmithing is the historical side of bladesmithing. I like to do things the traditional way because I think it's something that needs to be preserved. Doing it the old way, doing it by hand, you get something very special when you're finished. You know, a one-of-a-kind piece. Every knife I make is different. Is a one-of-a-kind, handmade piece. They may look similar, but they're every one different, and I like that side of things, the historical side. The process for making a knife, I start off by selecting a steel. You know, I pick a particular steel for the particular knife I'm making. Then I will forge the blade using a forge and an anvil and a hammer, like a blacksmith. You know, I'll forge it like that. And then I grind the blade on a grinder to clean it up. Then I'll do the heat treat, and then I'll go on to final polishing and assembly. And so it's pretty long process, but it makes a really, really good knife. What differentiates me from, say, a production factory is, you know, every knife that I make is overseen by me, it's made by me, all the processes are done by hand, by me. And so when you purchase a knife from me, you know that it is as high quality as I can produce. I mean, and that's what I'm into. I'm into high quality performance cutting knives and implements. And so I have a greater control over every single process than, say, a factory would have. I had an opportunity to be on Forged in Fire, which is a History Channel program, pretty much as a joke. My buddy Abe, who I share a shop with, he's an architectural blacksmith. He found it online, application online. He said, "You should fill it out." And I was like, "No, I'm not filling it out." He's like, "Do it." And so I filled out the application, and then they contacted me and just kept going back and forth. And before you know it, it was, here's a ticket to New York, be on the plane at this time. And so what sort of started off as, because I never considered that I would actually be on the show. So what started off kind of as a joke, like, went all the way through, and, you know, I went on Forged in Fire and won it. So it's kind of a funny story. What I made for the show, I had to make a friction folding knife, and I had 3 hours to make the blade, and I had 3 hours to assemble it and make a handle. And so they put them through rigorous tests, and my knife survived. And so I went on to the final round, where I made what's called a German Zweihander. It was a 60-inch, about 7-pound sword, two-handed sword. And I had to build it in 1 week, which a project like that would probably take probably 3.5 weeks to build normally. And so it was, it was crunch time. My plans for Replogle Armory are to just keep making high quality blades, even higher quality. You know, I'm always striving to better myself, better my blades, better my product, and just keep growing and expanding my skill set, and just keep doing it until I can't do it anymore. People that are interested in blade making should probably take a class. You know, Appalachian Center for Craft has lots of classes. It's a fairly expensive thing to get into by the time you buy all of the equipment. You know, taking a class is the best way to learn and really kind of figure out if you want to go all in or not.